On today's video, we're going to take a look at the Fotga A70TLS on-camera monitor. Stay tuned. The Fotga A70 is a 7-inch IPS on-camera field monitor that supports a number of features. They currently have 4 versions of it. The base version is just the 7-inch field monitor. The next version is the 7-inch field monitor plus touchscreen. The third version is touchscreen plus 3D LUT support, and the final top version has a touchscreen, 3D LUT support, and SDI. All 4 models feature 1920 by 1080 resolution, so it is a full HD FHD field monitor and will accept 4K over HDMI. The TLS version, the one I have with me today, also has 3G SDI. It is 3G SDI, so it will only take a 1080 signal over SDI. For the base model, just the 7-inch monitor with no touchscreen, no LUT, no SDI, currently retails at $129 on Amazon at the time of this video, and the TLS version currently retails for $249 also on Amazon, and that is the top version with the touchscreen, LUT support, and SDI. This monitor also features a number of helpful tools such as false color, peaking, and several others that you access through the menus or the included function buttons. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and dive down on the table and I'll show you what you get when you purchase this monitor and go over the physical specs of the monitor itself. Alright, so here's the box that the Fotga A70 comes in. Right here you can see the 4 versions. The regular one, the touchscreen, touchscreen plus LUTs, and the one that we have here, the touchscreen plus LUT plus SDI. So, installing it out of the sleeve. No case with this monitor, which is kind of a disappointment. But, so right here on the top you have a quick start guide. Some instruction pamphlet. Right here talks about the tips for removing the hood. Right underneath that is the sun hood. And then you fold this over again, and then you have the monitor itself, which we'll get to in just a second. And then a diagram talking about the ways of connecting it using a 3/8 and M6, the rosette. We'll get into more of that here in a second. Get that out of the way. You have some foam packaging to get out of the way, a little divider with another piece of foam, and then you have your accessories that comes with it. Regular HDMI to HDMI, a DC to DC power cable, Allen key, a very nice slim SDI cable with just regular B and C tips, a straight tip and a 90-degree tip, a cold shoe, a little parts bag with a small little flathead screwdriver, as well as some 1/4-20 and M6 adapters. I actually do already have one mounted on the viewfinder. A cold shoe mount. Rosette style does have the locking teeth that keep it from tilting. Cold shoe with a 1/4-20 on the bottom. The Fotga A70, this is the TLS. On the top you have your menu button with a scroll wheel if you don't want to use the touchscreen. 6 function buttons, programmable function buttons. Actually, here's the 7th button over here. Power button, 2 1/4-20 mounts, as well as the 3/8 with the rosette locking teeth. Around the other side, same thing, 2 1/4-20s with the same rosette style mount with a 3/8. And on the bottom, 2 more 1/4-20s with another 3/8 rosette mount. Like I said, I did put the M6 adapter because that is the adapter that you need to use the included cold shoe mount. And with it being that rosette style, it does have those locking teeth, so once you tighten it in, it will not rotate. And this mount that comes with it, it is just a tilt mount, so no rotation at all. Sorry guys, I gotta hop in here and make one quick little correction. Whenever I did the unboxing version of this, I had just gotten them in and just went through the box to see what was in to show you guys. But I did notice that during practical application, the mount that is included with this monitor not only tilts, but it also pans. It does have a pan feature built into it, so you can not only tilt, but also pan. The downside, the tilt does have a locking knob, whereas the pan has no adjustment, no lock, so take that into consideration. There are some other monitor mounts out there, like this one by Smallrig, that pans and tilts, and is a much sturdier, more robust alternative because it is made out of metal. These are made out of plastic. The two SDIs, SDI in and SDI out loop through, a battery out if you want to supply power from this monitor to another device like a camera or audio recorder or anything that takes DC. It will put out the same voltage as the batteries. So headphone jack, if your camera doesn't have a headphone jack like mine, the Panasonic G85 does not have a headphone jack, so nice to have one so you can monitor your audio. And then your DC in to power this monitor from an external source. And then moving over, we have two MPF battery slots, HDMI in and HDMI out loop through, and this is for the J6 key remote with the dual MPF battery mounts. It can take any Sony MPF battery. This is an MPF 550. It's a small number, so just locks in there. No buttons or anything like that, just a tab, so quick pull and to put the battery in and out. It will operate with just a single 550 battery, so you can run both if you want, if you need that extra time, or you can swap. So if you have two batteries on here and you notice one of them is about to die, or you've been shooting for a few hours and you want to be on the safe side and swap them out, pull one, the monitor will keep working, and replace it, and then pull the other one and replace that too. Let's go ahead and turn her on. Green LED on the top comes on and the monitor comes on. I don't have anything plugged into it, as you can see, so it will just default SDI, no signal. It is touchscreen, so you can double tap and open up the menus or tap anywhere to get out of them. The power button also serves as a way to turn the touchscreen on and off. So if you hit it once, touch off, and touch back on, and now we're back into our menus. To turn it off, you just hold the power button and it will turn off. That's kind of a basic overview. Now let's put this thing on a camera and see what it looks like. Alright, so here beside me you can see the Fotga A70TLS mounted on our Panasonic HPX 370s with the sun hood, and as I said, we are using the included SDI cable, and for power we are currently running off of a 12 volt DC output that is on the back of the camera. So running DC power into the camera also runs power to the viewfinder, so you don't have to worry about additional cables there, and also don't have to worry about batteries. Let's go ahead and get close to the monitor, and I'll go ahead and show you some of the touchscreen functionality and how to navigate through the menus. Alright, so here we are, tight on the monitor, and go through some of the features. It's still on our Panasonic camera, and I'm standing right next to it, so here I am here, and here I am on the Panasonic. Panasonic is color balanced, whatever. So, like I said, the power button also doubles as an on-off button for the touchscreen. So if you just tap it, there it turns touchscreen off. Tap it again to turn it back on. So with touchscreen on, you can just double tap the monitor to get into the functions, go into your display functions, and you get all your marker, your safety area, your aspect ratio, anamorphic mode, all that. You can set a safety marker to anamorphic or actually change the aspect ratio to anamorphic if you're shooting in anamorphic. Get back in here and then go into your functions. This is where you have your monochrome, your false color, your peaking color, zebra, your vector scope, your parade RGBs, your histogram, audio bar position, either at the top or the bottom, and this is also where you program the 7 function buttons. Next down is LUT support, so you can change your LUTs in there, which I don't have any LUTs to work with, so I'm not going to mess with that right now. Below that, your basics, like your backlight, which we keep at 40, and your color temperature, brightness, contrast, saturation, sharpness, hue, H-bright, and that's it. If you go into your system settings, there you can change your language, the transparency of the menu, OSD time. You can turn touch on and off here. Your volume, you can control it here. Also mute, low battery volume, reset, upgrade via USB, which I didn't mention in the unboxing. There's a USB-A port on the back of this, and that's for firmware updates. And then also change your input. So that's a quick rundown of the menu functions. And again, if you turn touch off, you click the scroll wheel to get into your menu settings, and then just hit the function 1 button or any of the function buttons just to get out of it. Alright, so there's a quick little rundown, show and tell of the Fotga A70TLS on-camera field monitor. A quick note, one of the 3 that we ordered has the newest firmware, version 3.0.0, and that added the waveform plus the RGB parade, as well as changed up some of the peaking functions a little bit. The other 2 are currently running version 2.0.0. Right now, at the time of this video, on Fotga's website, they have a version 2.0.3, but they do not have the version 3 that was on this one available. So I'm going to try to reach out to Fotga and see if they plan on making that version 3 available, because having those waveforms, having that vector scope are very useful features to have. I did notice right on the box, whenever we got this one in, separately from the other 2, it did have a sticker on the box that said it was a Pro version, and it said that they added waveforms and a vector scope. So, going to reach out, and I'll try to post an edit in the video description if I find out if they plan on releasing that version 3 or when, and let you guys know. With that version 3, this is a great monitor with a lot of very useful features at a great price. $249 for a 7-inch on-camera IPS monitor with SDI and waveforms is a great deal. Now, there are some cons. We'll get to that here in a second. First, the pros of this monitor. First off, the price, $249, and if you get the newest one with the version 3 software, it does have RGB parade, vector scopes, waveforms, more useful features, and like I said, it is a 1920 by 1080 display, and it will accept 4K over the HDMI, but it is limited to 1080 via SDI, so something to take into consideration. Also, it's very lightweight, it's great, it has a great picture on it, and it does come with some good accessories, especially that SDI cable. It does have a 90-degree fitting as well as a 0-degree fitting, so if you noticed earlier on our camera here, that 90-degree does great on the back of the camera. Also, it does work off of MPF batteries, which are very common and also very affordable. And like I said, it will operate off of a single battery, so you do have the option of swapping those batteries in the field. For the cons of this monitor, probably the biggest one that people will fixate on is the construction. Since it is a budget monitor, it is constructed entirely of plastic. The mount is plastic, and like I said, the cold shoe is plastic. It does kind of make for a loose mount. I have noticed that some of them can get quite shaky on the camera, but unless you're shaking the camera, that shouldn't factor in too much. And as I said, you can replace both the cold shoe and the mount with some other affordable options that are available, so you have that option. The other con I'd say is with the SDI, and this is only really a con if you plan on using this on a 4K camera via SDI. The SDI on this camera is only 3G SDI, so it will not carry a 4K signal, but it will carry a 1080 signal. So if you're only doing 1080 like we are in our studio, that's not a problem at all. But if you are doing 4K, 4K is supported under the HDMI, like most of these budget camera monitors. And right now, since we don't have it hooked up via HDMI, I can't attest to any type of delay between the camera and the monitor. Here you can see the delay, if any, via SDI, but Again, SDI is a professional broadcast level connection and shouldn't have any real delay, at least not any delay that will hinder its operation. So there you have it, my breakdown and opinion of the Fotga A70TLS. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned, got some other videos coming up. We've done some upgrading in our studio, so we've got some other stuff that I'm going to show you in the coming weeks. And stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and remember to hit that bell so you get notified. And if you want me to cover anything else, or if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below. My name is Matt, and I'll see you in the next video.